Hello everyone, and welcome to my Duel Today official news channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Days of Our Lives spoilers reveal that Belle Brady admitted to overhearing Jada Hunter, proving that she was aware that Shawn Brady had cheated on her with Talia Hunter. Jada expressed her regret that Belle had to learn the truth in this manner, but Belle soothed her and stated she was happy to know the truth. Following Belle's admission that she believed their marriage had reached a turning point, she heavily criticized Shawn for having an affair with Talia. Belle thought that this was retaliation for her own past mistakes of cheating. If Shawn was being sincere, he said that perhaps Belle's background did have some bearing on it. Belle ought to be able to forgive herself if Shawn could do it, in his opinion. Belle retorted that she didn't comprehend Shawn and that she hadn't forgave him. Shawn attempted to persuade Belle to accompany him home, but she rejected him and ordered him to leave her alone. Later, Jada went to see Shawn and tried to divert his attention with case updates, but he was still visibly upset by Belle's wrath. On Tuesday's episode of Days, Talia attempted to deny the claims made by Dr. Evans in Marlena Evans' office. Talia broke down in tears and confessed to sharing a bed with Shawn when Marlena encouraged her to be open about sharing a bed with her son-in-law. Marlena recognized that according to the doctor-patient confidentiality agreement, she was unable to speak to Belle after describing how she connected the links. The apology Marlena concurred with Talia's assumption that she would now actually need to look for a new therapist. During her visit to the hospital, Jada also ran across Talia, who was informed that Belle had learned of her hookup with Shawn. Following Talia, Belle went to the hospital where she confronted her and yelled at her to go to hell before leaving. After admitting Shawn had cheated on her, Belle rushed to Marlena's office for a hug on Tuesday's DOOL program. When Tripp Johnson entered Ava Vitali and Harris Michael's hotel room in London, Rafe Hernandez pulled his gun, but he quickly put it away after realizing it was Tripp Johnson. Although Tripp's appearance annoyed Rafe, Tripp was concerned about Ava because he believed Rafe just cared about locking her back up. Rafe made it clear that he wanted to return Ava to Bayview so that she could receive the assistance she required. Prior to Rafe receiving a tip that eventually resulted in his receiving Edmund's address, discussion shifted to Susan Banks possibly still being alive. Rafe and Tripp went to Edmund's apartment together since Tripp insisted on going with them. Following that, in Tuesday's Days program, Ava and Harris discovered they had been drugged and dumped in the back room with Susan and discovered their legs were bound. Susan acknowledged sending Ava telepathic signals since everyone else would have assumed she was sending them from the afterlife. Susan also anticipated that Ava would be driven to shed light on her whereabouts and defend herself. Before telling Ava and Harris that it was horrible, Susan found it touching to learn that E.J. Demura had targeted Ava in retaliation for her. Harris kicked the box back to Edmund and implied that they weren't fans of being poisoned until Edmund brought some food and water. Naturally, Edmund pretended he didn't need to poison anyone since he already had everyone where he wanted them. Edmund described how he saw Susan's tragic vehicle accident on the news and then remembered getting a call about her survival afterward. To keep Susan safe, two guys eventually brought her to Edmund, who said he didn't know who they were or for whom they worked. When Susan woke up asking for Roger and confessing she didn't love Edmund, Edmund had just finished nursing her back to health and was hoping to see her again. When Harris and Ava jeopardized his plan as a result, Edmund chained her before doing the same to them. Edmund didn't intend to hurt Ava or Harris, but when he discovered Ava was to blame for the vehicle accident, he changed his mind. Before Susan revealed that Edmund had once resorted to taking lethal action, he had given some ominous indications, and Ava was worried that he would do the same to her. In Tuesday's episode of Days, when Edmund returned to the living room to answer the door, he discovered Rafe and Tripp waiting there. After allowing the police chief of Salem and his associate inside, Edmund learned that Ava and Harris had looked up his address just before they vanished. Even though Edmund pretended to be innocent, Rafe still wished to explore the area with Tripp. Edmund pulled a gun on Tripp and Rafe because he wouldn't allow his prisoners be found. Keep watching Days of Our Lives because, according to the spoilers, Edmund will lose the current face-off. According to Wednesday, October 4 Days of Our Lives spoilers, Rafe Hernandez and Tripp Johnson will need to find a way out of a sticky situation now that an armed Edmund Crumb has threatened them. Tripp and Rafe were about to peek around when Edmund stopped them since he plainly didn't want them to see his 3 prisoners in the back room. Naturally, Susan Banks, Ava Vitali, and Harris Michaels are currently imprisoned by Edmund, but they won't stay there for very long. Days spoilers indicate that Edmund will lose, so it will be intriguing to see how Rafe and Tripp triumph. In any case, Duo fans can anticipate a rescue before the entire gang returns to Salem. E.J. Dinmuro will devise a fresh lethal plan of attack against Ava Vitali and possibly Xander Cook in the interim. Days rumors indicate that E.J. will be keen to exact revenge on Susan and will issue some fresh directives, but he'll be in for a surprise later this week when he learns Susan is still alive. Rex Brady will then have a crucial conversation with Kate Roberts Brady regarding his recent marriage to Sarah Horton Grady. Days teasers indicate that during this exchange, Kate will accuse Sarah of using Rex, but Rex will be okay with the situation as it is. Rex can contend that by consenting to marry Sarah and become a father to Victoria Horton, he understood what he was entering into. Rex might believe that even though Sarah and her feelings aren't mutual, their love would eventually develop. Regardless, Rex will make plans to assist in keeping Xander away from Victoria, thus they will soon engage in a contentious argument. Rex might find himself in the way of EJ's sinister plans for Xander if he finds himself in the wrong location at the wrong moment. On Wednesday's DOO episode, Chloe Lane will also have a crucial conversation with Xander, which will result in a significant disclosure. According to Days of Our Lives spoilers, Chloe will get ready to leave town, so it appears that she'll update Xander on her plans to move to New York for a fresh start. Talia, who Belle runs into at the hospital, apologizes. As she makes her way to Marlena's office, Belle tells the woman to go to hell. She confesses Shawn's infidelity to her mother. Marlena comforts her while she cries. Jada apologizes to Shawn as she approaches him at the station. He doesn't hold her accountable, but he also doesn't want to discuss it. She gives him an update on Dimitri's progress in rehabilitation and Rafe's tip regarding Ava and Harris. Ava fears about what Edmund has in store for her in London. Susan admits that he killed Penelope while he believed he was defending Susan from Kristen. She believes he is still capable of killing. Ava is in a state of terror when Harris tells her that he must be killed before he can reach her. Rafe and Tripp knock on the door while Edmund conceals his revolver in his robe pocket in the living room. Rafe displays his badge and declares that he is from Salem. He asks Edmund to take a look around after showing him pictures of Tripp and Ava. On them, Edmund draws his rifle. Thanks for watching. If you like this video, so please don't forget to subscribe my channel and don't miss any update.